Hi guys, today we're talking about how to use this black synthetic paper by the Paper Mill, which is available at Riot Art and Craft. This is a black yupo style paper that works quite differently to the white paper. If you want to learn more about my opinion on how it works, please check out the video. I'll link it in the description below as to which one you want to have a look at. But right now we're going to have a go at mixing white alcohol ink with different colours on this paper. So we're going to have a go at mixing the white alcohol ink. So I've got the Pinata Blanco Blanco, I've got the Pinata Passion Purple, and we're going to mix it on the yupo paper. So as I've mentioned before, when you're using the white, you're going to have to use the Pinata Clara extender. You can't use the normal isopropyl alcohol. So put a few drops down, and 2 drops of the white, put a bunch of the purple on there, and then let's see how this goes. So you can see, so it's actually got this really cool colouring, this really cool purple. It is quite dark on the black paper. Let's see what it looks like after we dry it. So you can see I have put quite a lot of purple in here, so it has ended up being quite dark on this paper. But what we can try and do is maybe we'll add a lighter colour. So I might use the Pinata Pink, and again, you're going to have to mix this with the white. You can't just put these inks on the black paper because it won't show up because of the dark of the paper. So put a little bit more Clara extender, do 2 drops of white, bunch the pink in there. Let's blow it around and see how it goes. It's actually looking quite good. A bit more of the pink over here. So, as I've talked about before with this black paper, you need to make sure that A, you work quickly, but also be aware that as you start to layer, each top layer will actually remove the alcohol ink that's underneath. So you want to be careful that if you are going to go on top of a piece that's already dried, that you do put some thought into where exactly you're putting that, because it may be a case of the alcohol it's already dried is being lifted off. So what I'm talking about here, as you can see here, when I added the white, it's lifted off the paper. It's actually moved the white that had already dried further across the paper, and it's ended up leaving this really cool effect though. So we'll try a little bit more on the other side. So this time I'm going to do 1 dot of the white. We'll put a heap of the pink in here. I'm going to blow it around. So you can see the pink mixes with the white, mixes with the purple. Now, I did put quite a lot of the purple in here, and this purple is very dark. So anytime you use this purple, less is probably more. I went a bit gung-ho before and put quite a lot down. Let's try it. So it has left this really cool effect. this is probably something that I would probably end up drawing over with some metallics because it is very dark. But it is just an idea that you can use these standard alcohol inks on the black yupo paper as long as you are mixing it with a white. And as I've mentioned before, you want to make sure you're using the Clara extender because the normal isopropyl alcohol will not work on this paper. So next up, what happens if you want to add some metallics? Now, anyone who's used the metallics before, and I've got the Pinata Gold in here, anyone who's used the metallics before will know that the metallics can sometimes have a mind of their own. So you need to be careful when you're using them. But the metallics work really well on here and you don't necessarily have to use the white. So do a few drops of the Clara extender. Nice big chunk of gold in there. There's a lot more gold than I would normally use. Put some pink in there. I'll dry this off. Now, you can't really see the pink because, again, it's using the black paper, but it has this really nice dark effect on it. You can see some of the subtle pink highlights. You've got the really dark purple, you've got the mixture of the purple and the pink with the white over here, and then this gold. So it actually works really well. I have found that some of the colours you can just mix with a metallic on its own, and that's what I'll show you up next. So now we're going to do an experiment using the Paper Mill Turquoise and Ultramarine alcohol inks. So again, the Paper Mill is Riot Art and Craft's own brand. They recommend using their pearlescent and metallic inks on the black paper. However, I've discovered that if you use enough of the metallic, you can actually use these colours and have this really cool effect without having the metallic alcohol inks. Move that over there. So with this one, you can use your normal isopropyl alcohol solution. You don't have to use the Claro extender because we're not using the white and we're not using the pearlescent inks, so you can use this. Put a generous amount down, and you want to put quite a lot of the metallics. Now, I normally wouldn't put this amount of metallics. Put a bunch of the turquoise, I put a bunch of the blue. Oh, gone off my page. It's alright. It's half the fun of alcohol inks is experimenting and making an absolute mess. Now most people will probably wear gloves. I like to have multicoloured fingers. So just move that around. Get the heat gun before we lose any more. Now, starting at the edges. Oh, I've literally got alcohol ink everywhere. It's fine. Cool. Wow, this actually looks really cool. So, as you can see, we've got this really cool effect on here, and it turns out that some of the gold mixed with the blues have actually turned bronze. So I've never actually seen that before. This is the first time I'm kind of using this color combination. I'm really impressed at how that turned out. So, oh, wow. But yeah, this is an example of how you can use the metallics straight metallics with the normal alcohol inks. You can do it on the black yupo paper and have these really, really cool, different kind of different colours, different patterns come up. Now, I definitely used a bit too much alcohol for this one, as you can tell by the fact that there is now alcohol everywhere, including on my paper here. Thankfully, it's in a packet. But yeah, so you can do these really cool kind of effects with it. So, again, it's the black paper, it's a lot of trial and error. You just want to have a go. Now, what if you want to mix the turquoise with the white and the gold? Let's have a go. I've never actually done this before. So, and by the way, if you're wondering why I have really tiny squares, some experiments that I've done before. Basically, I've just cut up the paper and turned it over so that I can do more experiments for this video. So, now if we're going to use the white, I'm going to have to use the Pinata Clara extender. I'm just going to do a little bit. I'm going to put some gold down. I'm going to put some white. I'm going to use this ultramarine, this blue again. Let's see how this works. I've never done this before. Ooh, I really like this. Let's try this. It's actually pretty cool. So we've got the gold up here, you've got a little bit of the white, you've got this cool blue and the gold. It's actually really cool effects. So again, you know, you can use your standard alcohol inks on this paper. You're just going to either have to mix it with white or you're going to have to mix it with the metallic. Now, I did put quite a lot of gold in here. Normally, if I'm doing an alcoholic, I'll be very careful with the gold because the gold can be very unpredictable. But with this, you can either, you know, add to it, you can do whatever you want. If you think that it doesn't really look very good, we may go, okay, we'll add a little bit more of the blue. But this time we're going to use the brush. I'm going to use it in with the gold. I'm going to mix it through. So I'm going to break up that gold over here. Just break that up a bit more. So again, you get the trial and error. It's more gold. And let's do a drop of turquoise. Let's see how that goes. It's alright. Kind of regretting doing that last bit. I think I should have just left it with the gold. But again, it's all trial and error, especially with this black paper. I haven't used it much, so, you know, I am just experimenting on these smaller pieces and kind of seeing what happens. But, you know, these are just two examples of where you can use the different colours, you know, the different colours with the gold. This one's got the white, this one doesn't. And yeah, you can do it on the black synthetic paper for a really dark look. I have another thing to share with you guys about using the black synthetic paper. Just be mindful if you're using isopropyl alcohol, so that's just this stuff, that the alcohol will actually stain the paper. What I mean by this, So all I've done is I've put some isopropyl alcohol on the black synthetic paper and I've dried it. I don't know if you can really see it, but you can see the outline on the paper of where the isopropyl alcohol was. So this is something that you need to be considerate of if you are going to be using quite a lot of isopropyl alcohol and not as much ink, that you are going to have these lines on your paper as to where the alcohol was. My suggestion is, if you know that you're going to cover the whole piece in alcohol, then literally cover the whole piece in alcohol, but put enough inks on there so the entire piece of paper is covered in inks. Or start with a small amount of the alcohol and then add some inks, move it around, and then you can add some more. Because I did a piece recently where I had some different colours in, and then I've ended up with this weird line all around the paper, and I'm really not impressed with that. So, but one other thing I will show you is using the isopropyl alcohol with the pearlescent inks. So if you just want to use just some random colours, just be aware that, like with the white, this isopropyl alcohol will leave kind of little almost pigments on your paper. And I found that it only ever does this on the black paper. It doesn't actually do this on the white yupo paper. Whereas if we use the Pinata Claro extender, just put a little bit of this, put it around. It's a much nicer finish. You don't have the clumps like you do get with the isopropyl alcohol, and it works out with the pearlescence a lot nicer. However, with the Claro extender, the edges of the alcohol ink piece are a lot more rough as opposed to using the normal isopropyl alcohol where the edges are a lot smoother. So you've kind of got a mix of both, you know, both good and bad in both of them. But again, you just want to be mindful and you just want to really start small. So when you're using this paper, start small, have a go with some different things and then see what works for you. But I'd probably suggest starting small with any type of yupo paper. If this is your first time using alcohol inks or your 100th time using alcohol inks, cut a few pieces into small pieces, have a play around, try different combinations, try the different colours, try the metallics, you know, try the pearlescent inks, try the colour extender, you know, try the different colours with the gold or silver or whatever colour, whatever metallic you want to do. Just try the different things and see what works for you. I just want to say thank you for joining me today during these experiments. Again, you can see like the array of things that we've done, the different variants. You know, I think these ones turned out really cool. You know, the metallics, I love the bronze in here. But I really hope that this is like showing you how to use this paper, what to do, what not to do, the kind of things that you need, and mainly just to experiment, like just have some fun with it, play around, see how you go. If you find something doesn't work, you know, cut up some of the paper, try it on the smaller pieces of paper. If it doesn't work, try something different. And yeah, if you have any questions, leave me a comment. Let me know if you have this paper or if you have similar paper and you've tried it and you haven't known what to do. Let me know if it's worked for you. Let me know if it hasn't worked for you. I'd be really keen to hear your feedback. So yeah, until next time, enjoy.